Hello and welcome back to Decentrahite. My name is Hamilton, this is Chester, and today we're going to give you a quick Bitcoin update because there is a lot of things happening right now which can be very exciting for many traders in the space. How's it going over there, Chester?
Very well, thank you. After a massive night of Bitcoin exploding. Very good stuff indeed. How are you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. You're going to do the short term, right?
Yes.
And then I will jump into the long term as well as a little hash ribbons update as well for you guys. So, you ready?
Without further ado, let's get straight into Bitcoin here. Going to be starting off on the hourly time frame. Not going to keep you guys too long here. Don't want to waste your time. But massive pump to the upside. It consisted of around, we go top to bottom around near enough 6%, 5.97%. From there, we have had a symmetrical triangle chart pattern at the top of the uptrend forming here on the hourly. This actually means it's a bullish pennant chart pattern, which is a continuation pattern to the upside, right? The measure move for that is looking something along the lines of this. Pretty greedy, if I must say myself. And this is going to be worth around 2.11% here on the shorter term time frame. So if you are long, good stuff. You made paper, right? It's looking pretty good for continuation. But what I would say is we can't climb Everest without base camp 1 getting stopped out, right? And this is what I mean about base camp 1. We need consolidation for another leg up. This is the Everest climb. This is the parabolic motion. We need the consolidation to actually take another leg up, which we have had, which is quite nice to see. So we're in chance for another leg up there. But one thing that I do want to just touch on here, guys, on the midterm time frame is actually this very, very key Fibonacci retracement of the 0.236 here. And that's pretty much where we're sat right now, okay? We're sat there right now on the 4 hour, which looks pretty horrific for resistance, right? It looks pretty horrific for resistance. And how many times have we rejected off this area before? I can't count them. There's just too many, right? There's so many times we've rejected off this area before. We are still in this this pretty much macro range here, and that's basically from 18,000 all the way up to around 20,300, that sort of area. So please don't be fooled here. We could easily pull back. If we don't pull back, there is a lovely measure move to the upside, which I'm eyeing up here for a lovely big swing Bitcoin long here. And it's going to consist of around 11.27% worth of pure and utter profit. Juicy, juicy gains. You know why we're here. We are here to make goddamn money, right? Let's talk about what we did see on the midterm here. Most recently, you can see we were talking about this range period coming through from here. You can see the support on this lower side here. You can see the resistance on this top side here. This is the area that we did break. Lovely, lovely long position to the upside there. And this, in terms of a measure move, was worth around something along the lines of this. It was worth around, literally around 3.5%. So pretty good stuff to anyone who did get involved with that. Indicators. Let's talk about indicators for a second. MACD, guys, we're looking, this is obviously on the short-term time frame on the hourly. We have just had a bearish crossover. So this is initially telling us that we're due a pullback in terms of the price. Not good. ADX trading up on the DMI, up around 36, which shows the strength of the trend right now is looking pretty good. So that's another factor that I would be looking for there. And that's basically showing that the uptrend isn't out of the question. One thing that I would say, a very strong uptrend isn't out of the question. But what I would say here on the RSI, guys, we are seriously overbought. So this obviously means we need some sort of pullback. This isn't just the hourly, guys. If you look at the 4 hour as well, we are actually overbought again on this bad boy as well. So a pullback is needed, so please don't be fooled by that. But that's going to be the short term and the midterm sort of update there for you. Just be cautious. I'm intrigued to see what Hamilton's got to say about the longer term time frame.
Well, we're about to jump straight into that, but may I say, fantastic analysis there. I did actually get in a trade on the way up here yesterday, but unfortunately, I am still waiting. I'm still waiting for the big Don Fibonacci here. This is going to be very nice indeed. It's going to be very nice indeed. Let's take a look at what we have here. We have this beautiful wedge structure. A lot of people are calling this a descending triangle as well. That's accurate. Okay, that is fine as long as you have trap zones underneath where these wicks are and where these traps have been, right? But we'll call it a wedge for now because the measure move's pretty much the same here. If we are going to look at this and we're going to say, hey, what is the measure move? Just to show you how I got this bad boy here. It's basically from one side to the other. So the bottom of this wick at 18.3 all the way up to 19.7 and then looking for that measure move all the way up to 21.3 for a pretty near-term trade to say the least. What I'm looking for right now, and it looks like like we are trying this very, very aggressively right now to get outside of this trap zone. If we get outside of this trap zone, it's going to be beautiful, and potentially we can find a beautiful trade towards the upside. You can see I do have a little alert in here just to tell me, hey, we have got over pretty crucial areas of resistance. As you can see here, a lot of these highs and wicks coming in around this area. So I've picked the top wick here and said, hey, if we get over that, I'm looking for a long, just in the sense that this is aggressive. And if it stays aggressive, then there will be potentially some money to be made on the way up here. But does that mean it's what I think will happen? Probably not. I do think that a pullback is very, very necessary here. As Chester says, right, on the shorter time frames, the pullback is kind of expected, particularly after a 6% move towards the upside. So what I'm expecting here is potentially a little bit of a curl over here on the smaller time frame, come back down, potentially test the mid-19s. You can see this kind of area here where we've kind of been oscillating around anyway, right? So a rejection off this horizontal, come down, test about the mid to high 19s, and that's when we can start looking for potential bullish action when we break over this trap zone. But what I'll particularly be doing here is basically looking for this to come down, whether it's a wick, whether it's a grind down, whatever, right? As long as we come down, we test this trend line around 19.6, as we said, and then break this high that we are testing right now, about 20,400, and then I'll be looking for a beautiful long trade towards the upside. So if we can see that, and what is the percentage on that? It's about 3% up to the 4-hour volume-weighted ATR band from an entry point there. So that's going to be something to look out for, sorry. And if we are going to look at this alert area, if this does want to stay aggressive, if it does want to just completely shoot for the moon here, which it's not necessarily expected, but it is something that it wouldn't surprise me, okay? It wouldn't surprise me at all with Bitcoin behaving like it's done in this bear market. Just dirty, choppy, trappy mess here coming through. So yes, if we do get one of these dirty, just these huge pumps towards the upside in like a 5 to 15 minute candle or whatever, right? Then yeah, that is completely expected, and we should be able to trade that towards the upside off of the moving averages. So if we go down to like an hourly or something, right, and let's say this does want to start banging it up, what I'll be looking for is that hourly to essentially be an area where we bounce along in a parabolic motion in which we can take trades towards the upside with that, right? So that's essentially my trading plan here for the long side anyway, so the upward side, the bullish side, and then looking for this to essentially top out and complete the measure move around 21.3 potentially here, but be watching this 4-hour volume weighted ATR band. I'll basically be looking to take profit all the way up here, just staggering them pretty evenly all the way up, and then conducting the profit scenario coming through. If we do get rejected here and we basically lose this whole area, then this would just go down as a trap. Right, this would go down as a complete trap, and then what we will do is essentially look for a short as we break down below this trend line that we have tested ever so many times, just so many times here. So yeah, if we break below like this 18k area after rejecting off of this, then yes, there will be a pretty decent move towards a downside, a measure move, which will be from around 18 down to the high 16, so 16.8, that kind of area. And from that point, you can actually free fall quite easily, so just be careful of that. The other thing I want to talk about here before we do head off is the hash rate, right? So hash rate right now, let me just explain what's happening in the minosphere right now, right? So the Bitcoin miners, it's an industry where they mine Bitcoin and then they hold it or they sell it onto the market or whatever, right? So what's happening here is this chart is essentially showing the hash rate of the miners, right? So what that means is if this is going up, it means they are scaling their operations so they can commit more power to mining Bitcoin, solving the problems and getting Bitcoin for that, right? So we can see here, this is continuing to go up. This is at all-time highs right now, as you can see, right? So this is something to not be ignored, right? What we can say about this is not the full picture. This is not the whole story. And we can say as well that the cost for mining Bitcoin is very, very high indeed. So if we're going to say, yes, all these miners are expanding and scaling their businesses to mine more Bitcoin, but the cost of mining isn't going up with that, then we can expect potentially a capitulation event in the future if the Bitcoin price does not catch up to the costs of mining Bitcoin. I believe the cost, just from my sources at the moment, right, the cost of mining Bitcoin right now, I believe, is between about 22k and 26k, depending on the operation, the efficiency of those operations, etc., the countries are in, right? So what we can say is, yes, currently it's pretty unprofitable to mine Bitcoin, and that difficulty is only increasing with the more people in the competitive space mining it. So yes, we need price to either catch up and more investment to come into Bitcoin, which will soar the price and make it profitable again, right? or some of these miners die off, they are forced to sell their Bitcoin because they default on the debt that they've obviously acquired to mine the Bitcoin and set up the operations. So yes, they could be forced to sell their Bitcoin, in which could cause a bit of a death spiral for Bitcoin, to say the least, in the price sense. So yeah, just be careful of that. If we do get one of these monumental crashes, then be cautious, be careful, be calm, and play it as if you're a rational person and not an emotional person, right? So that's pretty much it for the long-term update. Just in summary here, looking for a little trade towards the upside, but if it does want to head down, I'm looking for basically us to break 18K and then trade that down as well. So that is going to be it from my side. Anything else to say from your side, Chester?
Nothing I really want to add. I'm pretty good. I mean, I'm releasing my course on my channel, just a bit of shilling there. And also we've got copy trading. You've got your copy trading tutorial thing come out on your YouTube, the series that everyone can go watch there. So yeah, just a bit of shilling there. But yeah, apart from that, all good on my side. But yeah, thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Do appreciate it.
All right, be sure to like it, subscribe to it, leave us a comment, let me know where you think Bitcoin's going, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out and goodbye from Decentrahype.